People often ask me if I always wanted to be a writer, to which I have to say no because I was always a writer. Like most of us, I too have a story, a love story. Like most of us, he was cheating on me with my best friend. But unlike most of us, the ending of my story is the beginning of my new life. So my first structured piece of writing can be traced back to the year 2009. It was a letter written to my now ex-love interest, urging him to take me back. I took his consistent act of cheating as a lack of something in me, and I told him that we will get past this together. To which he dumped me the next day, first thing, and blocked me from everywhere. And obviously, with no legit means of contacting him, I wrote him letters and got them dropped at his residence. Old school, right? Obviously, nothing happened, but the mind is a beautiful paradox. It uses itself to understand itself. I was in depression for almost a year. I dropped my first year at NIF Delhi and attempted all sorts of unspeakable things every now and then. When I finally paved my way to the hospital, one night my father said, parents give everything to their kids: good food, perfect education, safe home. And one day, some boy from somewhere can come up and mess all of this up. Sometimes we keep letting the same problem or the same person keep us miserable for a number of years. Instead of saying, so what? So what my father doesn't love me? So what I didn't score well in high school? So what I'm single? Instead, we blanket in this reasoning and hide under it for the sake of familiarity. And a familiar pain is the worst kind of pain because you learn to live with it. Once I came back from home, from the hospital, I started preparing for my MBA, got into one of the best institutes for advertising, met my husband there, took up writing professionally, and now I'm so aware of the pain and remorse that I can talk and smile about it at the same time. So, this was my so what. My name is Ayushi, and I'm a storyteller, a fictional writer, a tearjerker, a smile raiser, a spirit lifter. I was born in Lucknow, born and taught in Lucknow, and I moved to Pune in the name of higher studies. And people who wear clean socks, know their coffee, call their mom on a daily basis are my favorite people. But people who are on this digital journey of finding themselves, not so much. You're not a 100 rupee note that you can find someday in an old pair of jeans. Your true self lies right in front of you in your decisions, your priorities, and your dreams. Today, I am representing my team, the Scribble Stories. We are a team of writers sending relatable content and way too real stories in the universe. I have probably done nothing extraordinary in my life except overcome the loss of only two people I have ever loved. Not that I am dead inside now, but when you are a little emotionally impaired, you tread too carefully. I lost my mother 30 days before my wedding, and I have zero memory of the day all of this happened. The physical pain such loss brings needs better words, and for the sake of them, I'll be subtle when I say it's living hell. On my most days, I run on caffeine with a schedule that is busier than New York City streets. I don't laugh as much as smile, and I miss it. My constant need of being busy can be treated like a trauma response or a fear based reaction to what I have to acknowledge when all of this slows down around me. Every time I write after a long pause, I have to crawl back to my pain points to find a story that is a little less difficult to tell. So, if writer's block is a thing, so is writer's unblock. And for my choked up writing, I like to do more than stare at the innocent technology screen. And given my regular stint with running away or running into problems, I like to run to flush those not so writer friendly thoughts in my head. Running is like duct tape for me. It can fix almost everything. And F. Scott Fitzgerald once said that writers are not exactly people, they are a whole bunch of people trying to be one person. On my good days, these people get ideas from daydreaming, and on my better days, they get ideas from being bored. Writing has helped a lot of people in their earning. Writing helps a lot of people to talk without being interrupted. Writing has helped me survive. As a passionate person, I always believe that people, feelings, things will last. But as a romantic person, I have a desperate confidence that they won't. And the last 12 years have been spent finding a middle ground. And given the fact that I am talking about it today, it is safe to say that I am doing okay. The evolution in terms of ideas, the growth in terms of perception, the life in terms of living it, the words have given it all to me. And if you really do not want to be a writer, even a secret one, then be a reader. Reading lets you think from someone else's mind. It lets you stretch your own while believing that muggles exist and so does magic. I often find bits and pieces of me spread across the pages of a random book. You should know the pain of reading about your favorite character dying. You should know the excitement of getting your hands on a new book and reading it cover to cover overnight. You should know the joy of finding an old favorite and looking at your childhood crush's name in some weird handwriting. And if you really do not want to be a reader too, then be a storyteller. We are living, running, and resting in a network of stories. Your watchman who doesn't smile, your batchmate who laughs way too much, your friend who is always late. Everybody has a story they should tell and you should hear. Tell a funny story or tell a sad one. Tell it to your best friend or tell it to everyone, but say it out loud anyway. For there is always a story that can transform and transport a person to a safe place. At Scribble Stories, we engage with our audience in various content formats like micro tales, snippets, musing, listicles, open letters, and sometimes even rant. And all of them at their core are nothing but stories in 14 or 1400 words, but stories nevertheless. And the resident writers at Scribble Stories, all of them believe that apart from the grammatical errors and the punctuation syntax, no story is too bad to tell. A couple of quick pointers before we end this session. Read classic literature, visit nice cafes, theaters, art galleries more often, exercise and stretch, recycle and reuse whatever you can, drink enough water on a daily basis, and above all, fall in love and stay there. To sit under the sky and talk about love, life, and loss, and reading without worrying about the deadlines. This is our true chromosome structure. But again, all of this can be a figment of my imagination. After all, I'm just a writer.